Tell it everywhere. Good morning, sir. 82 officers run from Central Region, consisting all the 8 divisions and districts, investigators and prosecutors, all ready for interaction. ACP Augustine Lugayare, Divisional Commander, Asif reported.
You are all welcome to this wonderful training. In fact, very, very important training. Legal education program. It's the first time we are putting this together for electional purpose. And I think it's something that we need to appreciate the Director General for this innovation. We are grateful that we are part of this wonderful training that will ensure that there's certainty of punishment. As election is ahead of us, there will be laws that will be broken. That is why there are electoral offenses laws. And if laws are broken and we don't arrest, we don't prosecute, people will be tempted to take the law into their own hands. And if that happens, there will be anarchy. So training in this line in the criminal justice chain is very, very important and apt at this time of our general election pending. We are happy that we are part of it, and we are grateful to the police administration for organizing this course to ensure that my wonderful officers are equipped with the tools and knowledge to ensure that we have peaceful election. When people commit offenses and they are prosecuted, certainty of punishment ensure that people don't commit the offenses again, or lots of people are also prevented from committing the same offense because they know that there is certainty of punishment. And when that happens, there's peace before, there's peace during, and there will be peace after election 2020.
It must be said that training is the cornerstone of readiness. Therefore, if you don't train, you don't build your capacity, you will find yourself wanting in any endeavor that may confront you. When we assume leadership of the Ghana Police Legal and Prosecution Directorate, the first thing we decided to do is to embark on continuous legal education. And because of that, we started with the administrative trials. That the most crucial and important thing that every police officer should know at this crucial moment is how to prosecute electoral offenses. And before you can even prosecute electoral offenses, there is the need for us to even identify what are electoral offenses. Somebody may ask, why do we need to prioritize electoral offenses at this moment? I think it goes without saying that we are in a crucial moment of our democratic dispensation. And in about 4 months' time, we're going to have a crucial election. I say crucial because this election is unlike any other election for the fact that we have almost people, one sitting president and one ex-president contesting election, which makes the stakes very, very high. And the role of police in all this cannot be underestimated. One, when everything everything goes right, nobody will talk about the police. But if something goes wrong, then the police will be blamed for their inability to regulate and control the conduct of people during elections. And because of the fact that people may commit offenses as reiterated by our regional commander, that's the more reason why we have designed rules and regulations that will regulate the conduct of stakeholders in the election. And we as police service, we are mandated by the Constitution to maintain law and order before, during, and after the elections. Therefore, it is pertinent and imperative that we become abreast with these electoral laws and how we can work in such a way that we use the laws to control the conduct of stakeholders during elections. Quite recently, the Peace Council, civil society organizations have started blaming police for our inability to arrest and prosecute people who commit offenses during elections. And the argument is that these are political offenses. If they are political offenses, as we say, then laws have been made to control such political offenses. And what are these laws? We have CI 91 as amended by CI 126. We have PNDC law 284. And we have the Criminal Offences Act at 29. And currently, we have the Vigilante law in addition. But when we start to discuss all these things, you realize that all these laws are already in our laws. Then why is it the need to promulgate new laws like the Vigilante law? This has been done in order to put emphasis on the fact that when you go and assault somebody during elections, instead of maybe going under criminal act, we will take you to the Vigilante Act, where the punishment is more severe. Most often than not, in order to shirk our responsibility or for fear of intimidation or victimization, normally after an investigation, we say that the docket is with the Attorney General. And that has created the impression that all electoral offenses must go to the Attorney General before it can be prosecuted. I must say here now that that is not correct. The law is that under Article 91, as amended by 126, you can prosecute somebody under that law without recourse to the Attorney General. But when you want to prosecute somebody under law, PNDC law 284, and all these things will be discussed by my directors, legal and prosecution. When you want to prosecute somebody under 284, then you need a written permission from the Attorney General. Then you can prosecute people under Criminal Offences Act at 129, which you don't need the permission of the Attorney General. So the question is, when do you go to the Attorney General and when do you go to court soon on your own? And what are the jurisdictions of the courts vis-a-vis the laws? All these things will be explained to you. And electoral offenses can be prosecuted at the district level, at the circuit court, and at the high court. And this will also be explained to you under what circumstances do you go to district court, and under what circumstances do you go to circuit court or the high court? Having said that, we must all bear in mind that when things go right, they will not praise us. When things go wrong, politicians of both sides will blame the police for our actions or inactions. Therefore, the time has come for the police to act professionally. And by acting professionally, if by acting professionally, we gain the respect, goodwill, and support of the public. But if we don't act professionally, and we are seen to be partisan, we are seen to be acting politically, then we lose our legitimacy, we lose our respect, and we have the consequential effect of that is that we lose our authority. Therefore, it will be in your own interest and the interest of the police service for all of us to act professionally and act in such a way that we can endanger the trust and support and the collaboration and cooperation of the citizens. Only that can we have the authority to regulate the elections and also for us to gain the trust and confidence of the public, which will enable us to work effectively in the upcoming elections. So the message is that act professionally, act fairly, and act with the alacrity that it deserves in these circumstances. I wish you enjoy the workshop. It's very important for you yourself because it will be very disgraceful for anybody to ask you as a police officer the laws of the country, especially related to elections. And if you are found wanting, it will not augur well for the image of the police service, which all of us are striving hard to build and maintain. Able to secure manual on election education in Ghana. These are the same manuals that the judges will use to adjudicate on electoral offenses. And because of that, we have decided that every region that we go, we give 3 to the region, 1 to the regional command, 1 to the crime officer, and 1 to the JUPO. So, madam, I think I'll give this to you.
No problem. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Give you any generally, we had some incidents during the registration, but though we had some in Kaswa, but it wasn't. It was one major incident, but it wasn't something that we can say that because of that Kaswa is a very volatile area. The offense is being handled as the Director General said. So everybody should rest assured, and we all have faith and trust and confidence in the police that the police will ensure that there's peace before, there's peace during, and there's peace after. And all of us, including the law-abiding citizens of this great nation, especially the wonderful region, Central Region, we should all say that we are going to go by the rules of the game, that is the law, rule of law, and ensure that we don't take the law into our own hands. If you do that, then the law, the same law that is supposed to protect you, will come after you. So I plead that we all go by the rules, we all make sure that everything that we do is according to the law, because the police is poised to ensure that law and order will be maintained as mandated.
The law is evolving kind of thing. So you cannot say that you have finished learning the law. That is why we continue to have continuous legal education, even for judges who are the custodians of the law. So I would say that our people are in a very good position related to the law. But as stated earlier on, because of the impending election, it is incumbent on each one of us to upgrade his or her knowledge in the law in order to be able to implement it as and when required. Fortunately for us, the judiciary is also undergoing the same kind of training. That's why we gave out that manual on election adjudication. So since they are also undergoing the same kind of training, we all presumably will all be on the same page and work together to ensure that electoral offences are well prosecuted. I think we are fortunate now to have laws that specifically target vigilantism, like the vigilante bill passed by Parliament. Therefore, this course will address that law too and how to gather evidence and prosecute people on vigilantism. All that happened during the registration exercise is being catered for. The Inspector General of Police has prioritized such investigations, and I think very soon we'll all see the results out of it. The only advice is that since we have all agreed to go through this democratic dispensation, we must have the patience, we must have the humility to abide by the regulations and laws guiding this kind of political system. And all those charged with responsibility in that direction should see to it that they conduct themselves professionally. Because, like I always say, if the police, and for that matter, all stakeholders conduct themselves professionally without any political bias, then we can endanger that kind of peaceful environment that is needed for a very good election and also democratic system.
All the offenses relate to registration of voters. So all the things I mentioned here, it should be related to registration of voters.